Chris Jericho has just seemingly dissed AEW on the latest episode of Talk is Jericho. He had the Dudley Boys and the Hardy Boys on the show with him, and during it they were talking about TNA Bound for Glory, and Jericho said this: "That crowd looked huge. It looked like a WWE level crowd. The place was packed. I was watching this and not saying anything out of line here, but comparing it to watching Dynamite when they were at the ECW arena, which looked like a Tony Condello taping. Sorry, it did. You guys, TNA, looked like the second biggest company in the world, and that was amazing."
How convenient, right? He's entertaining his buddies, the Dudleys and the Hardys, who are collecting paychecks from TNA, who are getting their paychecks from TKO, who own the WWE, where Jericho's very obviously going next. This is silly as could be. This is the most pro wrestling quote out of a pro wrestler on a pro wrestling podcast that I've seen in years. He's just like, you know what? Now that everybody knows it's over, watch me just sort of rub your nose in the sand about it. Watch me just make fun of all of you that thought I was Mr. AEW, Mr. Loyal. Like, let me get a little bit of the bubbly for Bound for Glory. Knock it off. That pay-per-view wasn't even that good.
Chris Jericho did a lot for AEW. There is no denying it. At the start, he added a sense of legitimacy to that company. But the fact is, right, he's now done his thing there. He's helped the promotion. And the idea was he was leaving to go back to WWE, to retire there, and to have a farewell moment, which he does deserve. But now for him to just suddenly, that promotion which he has helped to start dissing them for like no reason, saying they look like an independent promotion, which by the way is blatantly incorrect. They looked worse when they were half selling out arenas. They ran some smaller ones such as the ECW arena and they looked fantastic. It looked great. It looked like an alternative. I really enjoyed those 3 weeks they were there for. And also, sorry, NXT ran that same arena, and guess what? It looked better on AEW television. It did. And trust me, I've complained about AEW production a lot, but I mean it when I say that. This comment was ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Once again, Chris Jericho going into business for himself like he always does. This guy, I think he's just selfish. I really, really do. And you've got things to say, and I cannot wait to hear it.
Since when did speaking the truth become disrespect? AEW Cirque du Soleil has been nothing but that since its inception. The clowns are running the show, right? The clowns make you laugh. You leave having a good time, but there's no substance to it. So allow me to reiterate what Chris Jericho said, that in my eyes, Bound for Glory was better than anything AEW has put on this year. I wholeheartedly agree that AEW does nothing for the people that's there. That's why they're coming to WWE and becoming champions, because they're finally getting to have some light. And Ben, you can get loud all you want. Passion and loud doesn't mean correct.
I'll Venmo you $5 right now if you can name 3 more matches on the card from Bound for Glory.
From Bound for Glory? Okay, so there was the Dudleys.
And
there was
versus who?
Need 4 matches. The Dudleys versus the Hardys. Are you serious?
Okay. And that's the easy one.
Well, yeah, we're going to give you the softball, but let's hear. I mean, that's one.
We had Trick versus Mike Santana. Great match. Great match.
True.
I might be $5 in the hole here.
Might be. To be fair, actually, you did say 3 more matches.
No, that's 2 more now. He's got 2 now.
Trying to say
so you've got 2 more left. You do have 2 more left.
You got to name 2 more. I said 4.
Right? You had Moose, had a match with, who did Moose have? I don't know. Whatever. It was a great show. Like, you can't put me on the spot like that.
There we have it.
You can't put me on the spot like that.
He'll save
we all watched Bound for Glory together.
I know we did. I can't name 4. That's why I said it.
I know Leon Slater versus Javon Evans. Fantastic match. Yes, but of course, the ending, Dark State, ruined it all. That's the thing about TNA. They're a company who, as I've always said, I like there being an alternative. I think it's good for the business. And I have been a proud TNA supporter for many, many years. My issue with the company is they always find a way to shoot themselves in the foot, whether it's with production or something else. Every show of theirs I watch, I come away with going a bit like, oh, I wish that was better. Whereas with AEW, for the first couple of years, I felt the exact same way. But from late 2021 onwards, I mean, there's obviously the occasional bad pay-per-view, but for the most part, I haven't felt that way. There's a comment here from Donnie, right? And he says, we have to get past this position of getting outraged anytime someone says something negative about AEW.
Don't tell me what to do.
I say negative things about AEW every week. I've gotten in trouble with AEW for it. And at the end of the day, like, my issue here is Jericho says talk the talk this entire time. He's now leaving. There was no reason to say that comment. The comment is just, I mean, look, everyone's allowed an opinion, but I don't care. It's still factually incorrect. If you look at some of those shows, if you look at some of those shows, it looked that he's comparing it to. It's just a complete lie. It was good production in the 2-300 arena. It really was. If that match happened in AEW, a lot of people would be criticizing it a lot more.
It'd be torched. It was. I mean, it wasn't Butterbean and Minoru Suzuki WrestleMania.
No, that was just a straight up.
That was just the worst thing that's ever happened. But this was, if this happens not in TNA, it is not treated with the same level of like, oh man, we got the Hardys and Dudleys one last time. We get the Hardys and Dudleys one last time. We got the retirement Hardys and Dudleys one last time. Like, this was. I mean, they should have made it a walkers match, not a tables match.
It didn't matter. It was all about the feelings. I mean, come on, man. It's just like when Kenny Omega has his last match. It may not be the best match ever, but it's just going to be about the feelings. Everything. Watching them in the ring, and it was not a technical match, but them being in the ring, every spot they hit made you think about every previous match in that spot that they hit.
Obafemi's back in NXT. In the words of Clark, what are we doing here? This guy was beyond ready for the main roster. Him staying in NXT is only going to harm him. There was no reason for him to go back down to NXT, and the reason why I think they've done this is because they are so scared of making younger stars now. Honestly, this company needs younger stars, yet they're terrified to do it. Do what you did in the Ruthless Aggression era. It worked, but also keep the established ones. You can do the same thing, but a mix of the two. It would be fantastic, but instead, the only people they're making into stars are in their late 30s, early 40s, other than Bron Breakker. Clark, I want to get your thoughts on this one.
Did you see the finish to the show last night, Ben, really quickly? I want to ask you.
I did. I did, and they cut that off too. That was horrific.
I think this was one of the biggest issues here.
Obafemi is now going to have to lose to, as Donnie says, Ricky Stinks one more time.
Yep.
So I like Ricky Stinks. I do. Maybe not as much as other people, but I do like him. But Obafemi should not be losing to him. They did it one time, leave it at that. He put somebody over and he's got called up to the main roster. I'm fine with that. But in my opinion, I mean, Obafemi should have been in that tournament and he should have won it. I've been saying it for weeks and weeks and weeks. That was the guy to retire John Cena. Now, Clark, your pick in Trick Williams, I mean, suddenly that's looking very possible. Numero one pointing it out as well that he just realized, what if Trick Williams is the mystery opponent? I mean, look, you must now be absolutely certain.
I mean, that was my pick from the beginning. I just think Trick makes a lot of sense. And I also love the idea of Trick being a former Philadelphia Eagle, and it's in DC, so you know he's going to be the ultimate bad guy against Cena in that final match.
WWE Speed is now officially on NXT. It's been on it for quite a few weeks now, but it is clear that this is going to be a long-term thing. And I like the idea of Speed, but I said all along there was a big issue here. The matches should be 90 seconds, and these 90 seconds matches should be filmed vertically for TikTok and Instagram. If they did that, I think this could be a major, and I mean major success for WWE.
I love it. And to me, it's an ode to the old NWA, WCW days where matches had time limits, right? There was something beautiful about hearing the announcer, just say, This match is for one fall with a 15-minute time limit, and watching matches go the distance. So I love that part. And I think the format of 3 minutes is great. Even if it was done vertically on TikTok for 3 minutes, I think people would still watch it all the way through. Having a guy like Jasper Troy be the new speed champion and, his dominance. I think if I could go back in time and I said this last night on Off the Air, but if I could go back in time and insert one person into the speed matches, it would be old school Baron Corbin.
There's a comment here by Donnie, right? And he's mentioned one of my personal favorite wrestlers. Well, maybe previously favorite wrestlers. And the comment is, I like the speed format. It used to be a drill in many wrestling schools. Can you have a good match in 3 minutes? I know Tegan Knox can't. Of course, in response to her walking out the other day with her girlfriend when they found out they were having a 3-minute match in what was just...
Thank goodness for camera cuts, because I shot water through my nose when I saw the comment.
This is a Mount Rushmore of wrestlers who have wrestled in WWE but never won a WWE or World Championship there. I'm going to kick us off with Scott Hall. Clark, who are you taking?
That's really frustrating because that's who I really wanted. But actually, you're wrong. You left me the best pick in the game. Give me Rowdy Roddy Piper for my first pick.
Okay. Mr. Farouk Ron Simmons. Mr. Hacksaw Jim Duggan, the first Royal Rumble winner. If he was in today's wrestling, he'd be a main event in WrestleMania.
Owen Hart is my next pick, and that one's just, I mean, the guy was as good as anybody that ever stepped foot in a wrestling ring. No doubt about it.
Sami Zayn. This guy, I mean, I know a lot of people hate him. I know the Instagram comments are going to go nuts at me for that, but he is that good. I'm taking William Regal.
Mr. Perfect Kurt Hennig.
Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. Mr. Jimmy Superfly Snuka.
There's one big one left that nobody's taken, but Clark, I want to see if you're going to take him or if I'm going to get him in the last pick. Who is your final pick?
You can't have Jake the Snake Roberts because I'm taking
Screw
Jake
you.
the Snake Roberts
That's
next.
a great one.
Man, that is my final pick.
I can't believe he's been left to the 3rd round or the 4th round, and that is Kit Wilson. Only joking. My actual pick, Vader. Thank you to Ant You. Thank you to Clark, and we will see you guys same time, same place tomorrow. Peace.